piece of shit just came in there and took the championship. And nah, this
He
moment
aced
changed
Edge
me
with
as a
a
kid. The
passion.
next night, he proceeded to celebrate that championship win by having a live sex celebration.
One of the most one of the most watched segments in Raw history. What's happening, people? It's your boy Blaze here with another one for Venomous reactions. And please do excuse my voice. It's a little still recovering from the head cold I got like a week ago. So I would say I'm 70% better, but it's that last little nagging bit of a cold that's still stuck in your system and you try to get it out. But no matter. I'm here with another reaction for you, and this one's called Prime Edge Was a Savage. Now, Edge as a heel, bruh, he is an absolute monster. But if you were to go back to like during the ruthless aggression days, he was beyond savage. And we're gonna check this out right here. Prime Edge was a savage. Let's see what they're talking about.
Yo, there has never been a wrestler I've hated more in my life than Prime Edge. From 2005 until 2009, if you were watching wrestling and you heard,
"You think you know me?"
Yo, you better hide your kids, hide your wife, hide your championships, because Edge was coming and he was taking it all. Without a doubt, this man was the slimiest, the scummiest, the most disgusting, just the biggest piece of shit. There is no doubt in my mind that this man right here was the biggest supervillain of our childhoods. It all started in 2005 when he took Matt Hardy's girl. While poor Matt Hardy was out nursing a knee injury at home, Edge started nursing Lita on the road. The WWE found out and made it a whole TV storyline. And
that they did. Like the fact that it was a real life situation going on with Edge and Matt and Lita in the mix, and they worked that into a storyline, and it paid off perfectly. Like they managed to turn a negative to a positive, but like yo, you could tell like this became so heated. Like, you know what? WWE was like, you know what? Let's spin this. Let's make it into a real life storyline. And let's play it out on TV. And look at how good that paid off. Whew.
once that happened, it was a wrap because Edge not only took Matt Hardy's girl, he then proceeded to beat Matt Hardy's ass live on pay-per-view. He took the man's girl and then left his ass a bloody mess in front of millions of people,
Crimson
and
Max.
then he danced on his grave. Yo, Edge did Matt Hardy so dirty that, yo, if a man did me like how Edge did Matt Hardy, I'm going out shooting. But nah, man, as the weeks went by, Edge and Lita just got worse and worse. Once he had Lita by his side, it was GG, because they would come out and every week just wild out on the Raw roster and then proceed to have like the nastiest, sloppiest, the most disgusting makeout sessions every single week. Less than a year into his run, this man took Matt Hardy's girl, beat his ass in front of millions of people, sent him packing to SmackDown, and then walked into New Year's Revolution 2006 and took John Cena's championship. Man, this will forever be the biggest bitch move I have ever seen in my life. Poor John Cena was sitting in there in his own blood. After surviving the Elimination Chamber, after outlasting 6 other men, he was still champion. It's like, yo, what a happy ending. But no, there are no happy endings when Edge is involved. Out comes Edge with his Money in the Bank briefcase, he cashes it in, and he hits him with 2 spears and ends up becoming the WWE champion.
Yo, this is where Edge earned his name as the ultimate opportunist. Like, dude, he struck at the absolute most critical time. You know, John Cena just finished up with the Elimination Chamber. Like, he has no energy whatsoever to compete again immediately right after. So Edge took advantage of this. You know what? I see a fallen champion. You know what? Time to cash out. And cash out he did. And he became the WWE champion. And he made the Money in the Bank cash in famous. Don't at me, it's facts.
I'm not lying to you when I say that this moment traumatized me as a kid. This moment legit had me
Damn.
in shock, and this was a moment where I decided that I will never ever like Edge. I made it my life's mission to hate on Edge. I was going to be the Patrick
It's
Beverly
life
of hating
mission.
Edge. Yo, trust me, you had to be there to understand. I was watching this live and I was so close to tears. I was 7 years old and John Cena was my favorite wrestler.
Shit.
John Cena was my hero, and John Cena always won and he always survived, and he did. That was the thing. He did win the match. He did survive, but then this guy, this piece of shit, just came in there and took the championship.
Yeah,
And this moment
hates
changed
Edge
me
with
as a
a
kid.
passion.
The next night, he proceeded to celebrate that championship win by having a live sex celebration.
One of the most watched segments in Raw history. A live sex celebration with the title, with Edge as the champion and his girl Lita by his side. Enough said.
Bro, what? How is this even allowed? Imagine being 7 years old and your favorite wrestler gets clapped by this guy, and the next night you gotta watch him have sex on live TV while you watch with your grandma. Do you
Oh,
guys see
shit.
why I hate this man? Edge was just a sick, twisted man. Not only did he take girlfriends and championship belts, yo, for some reason he also loved abusing old men for no reason. I remember watching Raw
Damn.
and all I see is Edge just beating up a 57-year-old Ric Flair in a TLC match. Why the f was Ric Flair in a
whooped his
TLC
ass
match? All you
maliciously.
see is Ric Flair bleeding all over the damn place, getting suplexed off a ladder and just dying, and Edge is
that
just
looked
there
like that
having the
hurt.
time of his life abusing this poor old man. Of course, this was also the
Facts.
year he speared Mick Foley through a flaming table, but
Which was also a good moment in WrestleMania history. WrestleMania 22, Edge, Mick Foley, hardcore match. Edge speared him into the flaming table of hell. You cannot tell me that was not a good moment. And if you do, I call cap.
do you guys remember what he did in the mixed tag match at One Night Stand 06? As everyone knows, right?
Oh,
This is a
shit.
wrestling pin, right? This is how you win a match. Nah,
Yep.
not for Edge. This is how he won the match. That is another man's wife. I am
pinned her
telling
in
you, he is
missionary
a
position, bro.
sick, twisted man. He needed to be stopped, right? He was running around doing this to another man's.
Man, in the words of Trunks of Dragon Ball Z, you need to be stopped. Oh my god.
Wife the same night he cost Cena the championship, and then a few weeks
That
later
he
he
did.
casually went to John Cena's house and slapped his dad in the living room. This guy was possessed. He was just the definition of evil. I'm surprised he didn't wrestle in like Black Air Forces. Yo, he needed to be stopped, man.
Man, Edge during that time, man, he was Black Air Force personified. He was. Like, you cannot tell me, like, Edge was not absolute savage. Like, come on now. He took Matt Hardy's girl. He took John Cena's WWE title. He embarrassed the he embarrassed Beulah McGillicuddy. He pitted her in missionary position and he went to John Cena's dad's house and smacked the living shit out of him. You can't get no more savage than that.
And he needed to be stopped, but that was a problem. He can never be stopped because every time he got clapped, every time someone did anything to Edge, yeah, he would disappear for a bit, but he would always come back, and he would always come back even stronger, even scummier, even slimier. This man was like the Frieza of WWE. Let me show you what I mean, okay?
That's
so John
so
Cena
accurate.
threw this man into a lake, right? He threw him off a ladder into a bunch of tables. He beat him in a cage match, and I remember watching WrestleMania 23. When Jeff Hardy dropped the leg drop on him, it looked like Edge died. It literally looked like Edge died, and that was the greatest moment of my life.
That's it, he's dead. Somebody stop the damn match. But I ain't gonna front though, that was a golden moment right there. You know, Jeff Hardy returning, and this is his first WrestleMania back after being gone for like, what was it? He's been gone since what? 2003. He came back in 2006, and this would be his first WrestleMania 23, Money in the Bank ladder match. That spot when he leaped off the ladder onto Edge, lying across the ladder. and Edge just went limp. Like so brutal.
Seeing Edge get carried away on a stretcher, I was like, yes, he's dead, he's gone, he's not winning this match, hallelujah. Edge is not a problem anymore. But no.
He comes back.
Because he only came back slimier and scummier. It was May 2007 and it was an episode of SmackDown. The main event was super hyped up and it was for the World Heavyweight Championship. It was Batista versus The Undertaker. Both men escaped at the exact same time and The Undertaker, he got clapped no doubt, but he was still walking out champion and it was respectable.
Facts.
The Undertaker was a respectable champion. But then, you know, Mark Henry's music played and I'm like, okay. So Mark Henry just beats up The Undertaker, leaves him lying there dead, and it's like, alright, cool, Mark. I don't know why you're acting up. Not like The Undertaker's gonna beat your ass next week. It was minor. Mark Henry was not a problem. And I was like, all right, cool. What a great episode of SmackDown. I can't wait for next week. It was amazing. You know, time to go to sleep. But then it happened.
So you thought.
You think you know me?
On SmackDown, on the CW, on the show that was supposed to be my safe place, on Friday night, on the night that I was not supposed to see him, out came Edge. Yo, he had the briefcase in his hand and it was happening again. It was literally happening again. It was like deja vu. Remember how I said he traumatized me in 06 when he cashed in on John Cena? Well, you know what? This was worse. This was on SmackDown. This was on the show he wasn't even on. He was a Raw wrestler. But nah, here he is.
Exactly.
Yo, SmackDown was my safe space. Okay, this was supposed to be the show that he would never appear. My edge guard was all the way down. I was chilling, I was relaxing, but no, here he comes out there once again, and once again he finesses the system and becomes World Heavyweight Champion. The poor Undertaker is lying there in his blood. He is deader than usual, and Edge just goes in there and becomes champion. And
that he did, and what made it all so perfect was during that time Undertaker was dealing with injury in his right bicep. I believe it was his bicep. I'm not certain, but he was injured. He was dealing with that since the Last Man Standing match with Batista in Backlash of that same year. And what made it so perfectly to write Undertaker off of television, you got Mark Henry come out. You put the beats on him and splash him into oblivion, and then next thing you know, you think you know me. Edge comes out, Money in the Bank briefcase, which he won from Mr. Kennedy, by the way. Yo, that was cold, man. I wanted to see Mr. Kennedy, get his moment of shine, but it is what it is. Wrestling politics, it happens. So Edge comes out, cashes in, and boom, new World Heavyweight Champion, rated R superstar, Edge. This is why he is known as the ultimate opportunist, because he will take advantage of it at any given time, no matter what it takes. And I love it.
And at that point, that's when it hit me. That's when I realized, yo, it didn't matter if it was Raw, it didn't matter if it was SmackDown, it didn't matter if you were injured at home, because he'll take your wife on the road. And if you aren't at home, it doesn't matter. He'll go home and slap your dad. Like, it didn't matter if you were 57 years old.
Ask John Cena. He'll tell you.
It didn't matter if you were a dead man. Edge was always going to tweak. And yo, I swear to you, this was the worst thing he ever did. Because once Edge came to SmackDown, this man reached another level. I thought Edge was bad on Raw, but no. Once he came to SmackDown, it was over. Edge for the next few years would go on to pillage, ravage, just destroy SmackDown with the scummiest tactics I had ever seen in my life. Every time there was a match where I'm like, oh my god, Edge is finally gonna die. No, he never died. He always won with the roll up. He won by escaping the cage, running through the crowd. Every time I'm like, yo, he's finally gonna get clapped. He never did. And if by some divine miracle he did get clapped, it didn't matter, okay? It didn't matter. In July of 2007, he actually got injured, and that meant he had to give up his title. He had to surrender the title, and he was no longer champion. And I remember being so happy just sitting there watching Edge in the ring. He was crying, and he gave the title to Teddy. I was really happy. I'm like, yo, the bad man's gone. Great. But no, it was not great, because he always came back. And he always came back scummier than ever. It was November of 2007. Edge had been gone for 4 months. 4 months of bliss, 4 months of awesomeness, 4 months of not seeing his stupid face. And it was Survivor Series 07. It was Batista and The Undertaker in an amazing Hell in a Cell match. Everything was fine, and I really wanted Batista to win as usual. And I thought that it was gonna happen, right? I was pretty confident. And then all of a sudden, the cameraman starts tweaking. Yes, the cameraman.
You think you
Yo,
know
this
me?
guy, Edge, disguised himself as a cameraman in the Hell in a Cell and just went in there and just started beating up everyone. He hit him with a camera, got a bunch of chairs, just blasted everyone's head, just left everyone a bloody mess, and he was back. Just like that, Edge was back. And at first, I was like, alright, whatever, you know, Taker and Batista are going to kill him. You know, it's no problem. But no, it was a huge problem because at Armageddon 07, the next month on pay-per-view, it was a triple threat match: Batista, Undertaker, and Edge. Well, you know what? We thought it was a triple threat match because that was not the case. This man brought stunt doubles to a wrestling match, and not just one, but two. He brought in two idiots that looked just like him and basically had them around the ring playing dead, playing dummy. Bro, what the f? All you see is Edge getting clapped. But no, apparently it's not it.
He basically Kurt Angled this whole title match, because if you know, Kurt Angle has a brother, Eric Angle. He did that with the Undertaker. He did that with Brock Lesnar. Edge took a page out of Kurt Angle's book, and he brought in two people to dress just like him, you know, incognito. So it'll make Undertaker and Batista's like, you know what? This is gonna be easy. Or so you thought. And that's one hell of a way to break in like Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder, because I believe they were a tag team just starting out and really wasn't getting too much airtime. So you know what? We're gonna give you a little bit of a boost. We're gonna pair you up with Edge. And now you guys are known as the Edge Heads. And it paid off perfectly.
Edge. Then you see Edge getting clapped again. No, it's not Edge. Then you see like two Edges on the floor while another Edge is in there. I can't. You already know what happened. He finessed the system and he walked out champion once again.
Oh, he finessed
what?
it
How?
so
Where?
perfectly.
Who? Huh? Nah, it was too much. This guy was using military tactics in a wrestling match. This guy was out here using guerrilla warfare, using dummy. I can't. So he was world champion once again, right? But that wasn't enough for Edge. No. He wanted to reach another level of peak sliminess. He needed protection, he needed security, he needed a way to ensure that he stayed at the top. So what does he do? He ends up in a relationship with Vicky Guerrero. Vicky Guerrero basically becomes Edge's sugar mama, and these two buffoons begin to run SmackDown. Every week they would come out and these bozos would screw over all of SmackDown. The clips of Edge and Vicky kissing legit make me want to gag. Edge was that desperate, Edge was that slimy and disgusting that he got with Vicky Guerrero, and yo, they were the definition of evil. I remember Vicky made a TLC match at One Night Stand Away, and the stipulation was if the Undertaker lost to Edge, he had to be forced to leave the WWE. So what happens in the match? Well, Edge and Vicky have like the armed forces basically go out there like it's a Desert Storm operation, and they make sure that the Undertaker does not win this match. Edge wins that match, and the Undertaker was banished from the WWE. Nah, yo, Edge was a sick man. At one point, he was even engaged to Vicky Guerrero. They were going to get married on an episode of SmackDown. But luckily, at the wedding, Triple H came out and showed Vicky and the world footage of Edge cheating on Vicky.
That was by far the funniest moment when Triple H comes out. He wanted to wish Vicky and Edge nothing but bliss, happiness and bliss. But when it turned out to be more like crappiness and piss, with all the receipts he had on Edge.
And this resulted in the wedding getting called off, and Vicky went crazy, Vicky went mental, she called off the wedding, she hated Edge, and she made sure that Edge was gonna pay for this. So what she does is make Edge take on the Undertaker in a Hell in a Cell match. And everyone's like, yay, Edge is finally gonna get clapped, everything's gonna catch up to Edge, it's the end, it's over. And that's what happens, right? The Undertaker destroys Edge in a Hell in a Cell match, he chokeslams him from a ladder through the ring, sets it on fire.
Man, he sent Edge all the way down to this, way past the Shadow Realm. Yo, he sent them to the bowels of hell. And he wound it up in the lower end of the Western Hemisphere of hell, just to be Kentucky Fried into oblivion. And I loved it.
Basically killing Edge, and it's like, yes, finally, he's done, he's dead, Edge is over, like we can move on with our lives. But no. No.
How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man?
It was November of 2008, okay? Edge had disappeared, Edge was dead, and now Jeff Hardy stepped up, and Jeff Hardy really took Edge's place, and now he was the top guy on SmackDown. Everyone wanted to see Jeff Hardy become the WWE champion, and he was so close. So Survivor Series 08, the main event was going to be a triple threat match: Jeff Hardy versus Vladimir Kozlov versus Triple H for the WWE championship. And this was finally going to be the night that Jeff finally wins the big one. But right before the show, news comes out that Jeff Hardy was found unconscious at his hotel and that he wouldn't be able to wrestle at the show. So the match became Vladimir Kozlov versus Triple H. Great, amazing. Yay. So the match is taking place and everyone's like, yo, we want Jeff. Where is Jeff? We want Jeff. And everyone is just hoping and praying that Jeff Hardy comes in and wins the match. So 10 minutes into the match, they're obviously having a 5-star classic, right? It's Kozlov and Triple H, 5-star classic. Out comes Vicky Guerrero. And at this point, I had never been so happy to see Vicky Guerrero in my life. And she comes out and she's all happy, she's excited, and she's like, we promised you a triple threat match and that's what you're gonna get. Everyone's like, yo, really? Really? It's happening? And she starts screaming, he's here, he's here, he's here. And I was so like, amped. I was ready. I was about to do my Jeff Hardy dance. I'm jumping for joy. And then all you hear,
you think you know me?
Bro, what kind of sick joke is that? Why is he here? I thought Edge was dead. I thought Edge was done, but no, apparently Edge came back from the dead in a match that I never in my wildest dreams thought Edge was going to be involved. He went in there and for like the 50th time in 3 years, he went in there and he ruined everything. I wanted Jeff Hardy to win the championship. Somehow, Edge walks out the champion. I can't. It just became a routine. It just became like clockwork.
Yeah, honestly, I wanted Jeff Hardy to win the big one too, but eventually he did. I just wanted him to win at this moment. But then, in comes Edge. Again.
It was like, yo, every like 4 months, I'm sorry my guy, but Edge is coming in, Edge is going over, Edge is gonna ruin everything. It doesn't matter. You can kill him, put him through tables, put him through a ring, set him on fire, put him through a ladder. It didn't matter. No matter what, this guy always came back. He always came back. He became champion. He prevailed, slimier and scummier than ever. Edge always prevailed. It would be like the most random pay-per-views. No Way Out 2009, right? He goes in as champion, he loses in 3 minutes. Oh, doesn't matter. I guess I can't be WWE champion. I'll just go become world heavyweight champion. I'll just go beat up Kofi Kingston before his match and just become the champion. Like, yo,
basically. And I gotta tip my hat off to Edge for this one, because not only did he lose one title, he gains another. But not only that, not only does he compete in one elimination chamber, he competes in 2 back to back. Now, let me know someone that has done that. You know, compete in back-to-back elimination chamber matches in the same night. I'll wait.
Oh, this is the thing. It's like rules didn't apply for Edge. This guy broke all the rules. He bent all the rules. Whatever he wanted, he did. This guy was the worst. He was the ultimate supervillain. Yo, nobody was safe, and I literally hate this man. What this man did from 2005 until 2009, it's illegal. He needs to be arrested. He should have been prosecuted. I can't. There has never been a wrestler, and there never will be a wrestler who will ever be on his level of being as slimy, as scummy, and as disgusting as him. This man is single-handedly responsible for 98% of my childhood trauma. For all the PTSD I have, it's because of this guy. It was just too much, man. No matter what show, what championship, he would always be there. He would just be ready to ruin it all. This man, I swear to you, he gave me PTSD. Whenever something good happened as a kid while I was watching wrestling, whenever something positive happened, in the back of my head, I was always there like, oh shit, what if I hear that sound?
You think you know me?
Yo, man, it was just too much. But yeah, man, jokes aside, respect to Edge. At the end of the day, Edge is responsible for so many moments of our childhood that we're never gonna forget. Even though in the moments we hated it, even though it hurt, even though he did everything to ruin everything for us, he was actually making the moments for us. Because of Edge, I'm never gonna forget when he cashed in against Cena or The Undertaker, when he came back to ruin everything for Jeff Hardy. A movie or a TV show can only be as good as the villain, and it's the same thing for WWE. Edge was the perfect villain for the perfect era, and Edge literally made our childhoods. So yo, do
These
I
are
still
all
hate
facts.
Edge? Of course. Will I always hate Edge? Of course. He's always going to be my number one villain, my number one enemy. But
Oh
at the end of the
shit.
day, I know deep down that this man made our childhood so special. At the end of the day, I am so glad that I grew up in the era where I got to see Edge be the villain of my childhood.
Yo, I ain't gonna lie, man. Edge as a heel, love him or hate him, he is. You cannot deny the fact that he has crafted a lot of great moments throughout his career, and still creating them to this day. You know, no matter if he's a heel or face, you cannot, you cannot, you cannot not respect Edge for all the effort he's put in and the wear and tear on his body and pretty much sacrificing his own well-being just to give everyone the the moments that I would say the moments that will forever be memorized and well, I would say cherished, but yeah, I'll go with that, cherished throughout years to come. And you got to give him his flowers. E- even though he was set to live out the rest of his life in retirement, but when he came back, it was like, you know what? I'm gonna write my final chapter my way on my terms, and I'm still gonna create moments before I officially hang him up. And you cannot deny that he deserves his flowers while he's still going to this day. Now, thank y'all for tuning in. Hopefully y'all enjoyed it. I'm getting a little tongue tied here. Hopefully you enjoyed this reaction, and don't forget to tell your peoples across the globe. Yep, there, and there. Come kick it with your boy one good time. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. And don't forget to hit me up on social media right over yonder. Now, this is your boy Blaze here saying Chuck the Deuce. And I will see y'all in the next one. Peace.